Hey guys, how's it going? Nick here again. Thank you so much for the support on the previous two videos that I did. It means a lot to me that you guys are watching it and you're actually asking questions and engaging. And I had actually a couple of guys reach out to me, Surek and Andrew specifically, and they've been asking me a lot of questions that I, so to say, kind of forgot about almost because it's been almost a year. I say like 8 to 10 months since I started this whole thing, and I kind of forgot what it was like to to have all these basics and like having like the big worries of like if it's gonna work or how do I choose my product and kind of doing all this research has kind of become second nature to me. So I decided to make this short video about me using the Jungle Scout tools specifically, and then merchant words as well, and how I would go about if I was to start again today, like many of you are. How would I go about finding a profitable product? And I really, really, really appreciate any kind of questions or feedbacks you guys have at the end, because this gets me thinking about, oh, maybe I've missed answering a certain key question, or maybe there should be questions that I should be asking myself that I haven't yet, and just your guys' experience as well. So just feel free to comment, throw it out there, and watch the video. I'm sure many of you already know the tools. I'm just walking you through what I found to be the most useful, like my 80/20 approach to finding a profitable niche. But yeah, enjoy the video and thank you again. Hey guys, how's it going? Nick here again. First of all, thank you so much for all the support on the first video that I released about my story. And as you could see in the comments there, I got a bunch of questions. A bunch of people reached out to me, and because of that, I decided to make this video. This is basically step one and the most inquiries that I got, which is how do I go about choosing the product and kind of some of the criteria. So today I want to walk you through, if I was to start again from ground zero, how would I do it knowing what I know now. So first step, as I mentioned in the video, we are going to Jungle Scout web app. We're going to go to product database. You're going to register for this. It costs about, I believe, $40 a month, $30 a month. Totally worth it. Basically, the idea with this product, in case you've never heard of Jungle Scout web app, they also have a Chrome extension, which I'll show you afterwards. But with the web app, it basically, you have a criteria. It's like a narrowed down Google search, but only for Amazon. You have very specific criterias right here, and you have your categories which you want to go delve into, and then it just shows you based on your criterias, which is 1,000 times better than just clicking through Amazon trying to stumble upon, so to speak, onto a product that you think will be successful for you, especially for your first one. So, kind of to give you some general ideas about your first product and what it looks like, you are trying to minimize failure or any kind of hiccups, and you're trying to maximize your success. I would say, I know there's a lot of talk about build a brand, like, 3, 4, 5 products in a row. My thinking on this is you can always branch out to build a brand in your second, third, fourth product. I think your first one is you're just trying to succeed at this. You're entering with minimal knowledge, almost no experience. You can listen to all you want in terms of podcasts or read blogs, but until you do it, you're not gonna quite get it. Trust me, I've done it. I've done 4 or 5 months of research, and it wasn't until I did it that I finally understood what it looks like. So we're basically trying to be very, very cautious, as careful as possible with this. So, as to increase our chances of success on our first try. So I'm going to be speaking all the criteria that I'm outlining and the process that I'm outlining is it comes from that philosophy of being extremely cautious and trying to be as safe as possible and maximizing chances of winning. With second and third product, you can kind of get a little bit looser and faster, because even if those don't perform as well, you always have your first one to fall back on. But right now, I imagine as many of you are coming off of full-time, part-time jobs or school, and you're just not trying to get into like an office job for the next 5 years. Resources are very limited, and it will be a lot more painful to lose on your first and to get back to the level where you can try your first again than it would be, to succeed at first in anything, and then start actually developing a brand and a name for yourself with second, third, fourth. So without further ado, step one, we are going to find a product that we can later on explore and research. So this is kind of cold calling, as you can imagine, kind of cold searching. So first, you want to go to categories. My personal guidelines is no clothing, no electronics. And in this case, I deselected books. So why no electronics? Electronics involves a lot of moving parts. One detached wire due to weather conditions or rough transportation will result in unhappy customers. You'll get a bunch of complaints. It's a very finicky category. So I tend to stay away from it personally. However, with that said, I do know a lot of people. Well, not a lot. I mean, in my mastermind group, I know like two guys specifically that are very successful in electronic niches all throughout Amazon. And I'm also staying away from clothing. As you can imagine, clothing is such a variable thing. What fits one person might not fit another. And I want to have long-term, sustainable, kind of level of satisfaction, instead of bouncing between 5 stars, loved it, fits super great, to 1 star, didn't fit at all, sucks, I hate it. I don't want that fluctuation. So I'm trying to basically develop a great product and set systems in place, so that when people receive it, like, I know it will fit or it will work, whatever it is, that small thing that we're going after. And as you can see, I deselect books because books, ebooks, specifically Amazon publishing, it's a whole other animal. I've never gotten into it. I have friends that got into it, and I do want to explore it in the future, but my personal belief is I don't want to put out any books anytime soon, because I think you really need to get some knowledge under your belt before you can credibly speak on any subject. Deselected shoes, part of clothing, and watches, just not my preference. I mean, once again, this is totally up to you. You can, if you're super passionate about watches and you know a lot about watches, by all means go into watches. Find out what kind of options are there. But if this was my first time, this is how I'd go about it. Now you can get into these categories right here as deeply as you can. This specifically, like the 4 sections that I've outlined, so the price, the rank, the reviews, and the weight, these are like the minimal. These are the basics of the most basic. If you want like estimated sales, let's say I want at least 100 or 1,000 sales a month, or to find a product down here that has at least 100 or 1,000, like, by all means go for it. But here are the very basics, and here's why. Price. I heard a lot of people say that price, 15 and up. I actually think you should be going for 17 to 18 minimum and up. Because if you're in, I found that through my research for my first and second product, I found that whenever you have a price of 14 or 15 or even $16, sometimes it's really generic items, first of all, and second of all, the competition usually, by what I see, leads to kind of like a price race to the bottom. So I mean, $1 or $2 extra, $18, right? Like, it's not gonna make too much of a difference, but might as well not tempt yourself with like, oh my god, this product's so cool and I can definitely dominate this niche, but it's selling for $14.99. Like, don't even look at it, don't even tempt yourself. Just set it at 18 as your minimum and go, and just forget about the price, or like go for a bit more priced up items for your first one. I put max as 60 because anything above 80, 60 is just being super safe. Anything about 80 or 100, I'd say. Anything above $100, you will most likely encounter different kinds of sticking points, such as, customer will need a little bit more convincing as to why they should buy it. They will probably have some questions over email, or they'll want a phone call, or they'll want to see that you're an established brand or something rather. With that said, there are cases where, first product like 120, $130, and they're blowing it out of the water. Like I said, this is not like end all be all kind of thing, but for your first product, if you're like me, stay safe. Don't make it more than 60, because this is kind of like quote unquote throwaway money. Quote unquote, you see something for like 49, 59, especially if you're, let's say, middle class, upper middle class, whatever, even lower middle class, and you're just shopping around as a shopper. This is not as a seller, as a shopper, and you see something like, oh, it's 39.99, and it's something kind of cool, and I like the listing, I like the photos, like screw it, whatever. It's like $40, right? It's like, who cares? And I know for some it's a lot of money, but then for others, like I said, it's different kind of. It varies person to person. So let's set that max at 60. So it's not too much of financial burden on the person that's making the purchase. So they don't have to think about it too much. Rank, we want to set at max 5,000. Now, when I was starting out, I really had a hard time grasping what the hell is BSR, bestsellers rank. I'll show it to you where you can find it on the page, on the Amazon page, in about a minute. But basically, bestseller rank is the closer the rank gets to 1, the more items you are selling. So the better it is. So the further away you're from 1, the worse it is. That means you're selling less items, or your price is low. Like there's an Amazon algorithm which I don't think anyone's figured out yet, but it tends to do something with price, revenue, how much you make off of each sale, and how many sales you make per day or per month or whatever. So you want it to be closer to 1. 5,000 is a pretty safe bet, and I'll also show you another Jungle Stickout free extension where you can actually type in the rank of any product. You basically choose a category, you type in a rank of the product, and it tells you approximately how many units they're selling. So you can actually kind of gauge how many items your competitors are selling. So we're gonna set that at 5,000. That's kind of like a good base rank. Then we're going to look at reviews. Reviews, I always recommend set the max at 100 to 150. When I was starting out, a lot of people were saying anywhere between 500 and 900. While that is reasonable, you can beat that. I mean, my first month, I got about 75 reviews on my product. It's quite reasonable, to assume that you can have 150 reviews in about 3 months. Or you can beat out 900 in like 6 months if you're really pushing for it and just like hustling for those reviews. But we try to make this process as simple as possible. So I wouldn't even try to tempt you guys, or I recommend you don't tempt yourself with, wow, I found this awesome item, but it has 900 reviews, I even had a friend of mine recently. We started talking, Andrew, and he was telling me, "Hey, so I've been researching, and I found a great product, a great price. I think it was like $20 or up. It was the keywords that were associated with the product were just like high search volume. But then he's like, number one item is, I think he said 2,000 plus reviews. The next 3 items are like 400, 500 reviews, and then the rest are kind of like around that ballpark." And I'm thinking like, whoa, man, that's just trouble. That's a really competitive niche, if you can call that a niche. I still know the product. If I ever give anybody advice, I usually try to stay away from that, as to just give objective advice. That's just too much. You trying to find first page is like anywhere between 50 to 150 reviews, all of the products, and that's how and they're selling a lot. That's how you can penetrate that, no problem, for your first one. And weight, 2 pounds. I agree with the community. For my first and second product, they're both under 2 pounds. They're both fit in the shoebox. That's the criteria you want to go with, and it just makes life simpler. So just set that at 2. Anything else? So like number of sellers, which is shown here. I believe it's number of sellers per this item. So there's probably like somebody's trying to hijack this listing, or there's just like another seller with identical item. I don't know. But number of sellers I don't really touch. You can put it as 1. A listing quality, that's kind of that's an algorithmic number that Jungle Scout has in the back. It's shown here anyway, so I don't even put it in. Like, I don't want to use that as a criteria. So anyway, we do this. For product size, for your first one, I would highly recommend standard. Don't go oversized. It's a lot of hassle to deal with, especially with freight forwarding. You're going to pay a heck of a lot more than in standard. Sellers, I deselected Amazon simply because I come from a school of thought that I don't want to compete with Amazon on their own marketplace channel. I want to avoid big Amazon fulfilled items because can you really do something better than Amazon? You probably could if you put a lot of work into it, but why do that if you can just put half the amount of work in and get twice the result of just doing a better listing or better images than, let's say, another merchant that doesn't really give a crap about that stuff. You can improve much easier because Amazon really knows what they're doing from what I can see. So we're gonna boom hit filter database, and then we have all these items. I was actually scrolling through this first page and I found something that was interesting. So like now you're just looking, okay, so monthly revenue, number of reviews, cool. They're what they're selling for. It even tells you minus the fees, so how much profit or revenue, let's say revenue, you tend to make, and the weight, of course. So like looking around here, and actually something caught my eye here, and I want to show this to you guys. Okay. Okay. So this is a very interesting product I found while searching for a niche to kind of show you guys my process. Baby hearing protection and like basically baby earmuffs. Why I found this to be interesting. Number one, it's something that I would never in a million years think about unless, let's say, my neighbor Susan says, hey, we're having construction done across the street and I bought these great muffs for my baby so that, their sensitive hearing doesn't get ruined. Only then I think like, wow, cool. Okay, this is maybe other people need this. If we look at the numbers, we have these two products. So let's go with the better one. We have $28,000 in sales. That's 1,000 units per month that they're selling. The other guys on the lower end, 380, which is still pretty great. That's more than 10 per month per day. Rank is good. I'm looking mostly for the number of revenue, their rank, which is great rank. Reviews, awesome, below 100. This is a very good sign. Weight, next to nothing. And what they're selling it for. All great signs. Let's take us to the page and see more about this product. So I'm expecting to have some good photos, some good description, some good bullet points. Judging from the title, I know it's going to be hard to assess the title from your first product, but like when I'm seeing this, kind of what I'm thinking now is, okay, so they have their brand, I believe, Bebe Muffs, whatever it is. They're the only seller, so they own the buy box. Best USA certified noise reduction earmuffs. That's kind of crap and unnecessary. I mean, everybody puts best and quality and whatnot. Their photos is what I'm going to look at. Very good, high quality photos, professionally done, zoomable. You can look at it. Very good photos. They decided to go up with 5 instead of I believe 9 or 11, whatever the allowable number is. They do have pretty good bullet points describing their product. Let's scroll down. Wow. Okay. Really good product description. This is like, these guys did a really good job here. Very good product listing so far. Number 6 in baby. Cool. Then we're going to go look at their reviews real quick. Let's see. Some 1 stars. 1 stars I usually tend to avoid unless it's like 7% out of nowhere. Let's see what they say. Because usually 1 star reviews will be something like, I hated it, or the color was wrong, or didn't fit my baby. It's something that's not really going to help you or potential buyers, so people just discount it as just people sipping haterade. So let's see. I'm an aircraft maintenance worker, that said, wearing ear protection, regular part of my everyday life. So I think they're getting basically to built for adults. So let's check that out real quick. Bams. Okay. Wow, these are way oversized. Jesus Louises. So there's a design flaw. Okay. That's actually pretty good review for us as a seller to determine what can we improve upon to make it better. So too big for tiny little heads. That's a very good sign. Adults with okay. So after I check this out, I basically want to try and see what's going on here. Let's do this. I basically try and see what other products are on the market, and if it's a niche instead of just one, niche product. I want it to be like 10. I want to check out the first page, 10 to 15, and see what their stats are like. And this is where we're going to use you guessed it, Jungle Scout Chrome extension. So it's set on baby. You can leave it on baby. I like to put it on all departments just because when people log into Amazon, nobody goes like, ooh, I'm going to go specifically to baby. No, people just go straight to the search, expecting Amazon to figure it out for them. So we're going to try and simulate the customer experience and what they will see as much as possible. So let's try baby hearing. I can't type today. Hearing protection, all departments. So here's what we get. This is what the first page looks like. Instead of going into every single listing and analyzing it, we're just going to hit JS, and this will sum it up for us. Basically, the first page summarization, what you saw on the Jungle Scout web app, very similar, but just analysis of the first page. So let's just wait until it loads. Okay, so looks like this is probably going to be as good as it going to load. I think there's a bit of a problem with my internet connection. It keeps cutting in and out, but it gives us a good enough range to see where we're at. So the first 3 products, if you just hover over them, it kind of tells you. So this guy not available for some reason, maybe AMZ blocking them, but unlikely. So second product, we're looking at an average, so we're starting at 20,000, 22,000 per month, 9,000, 71,000. We're not really trying to compete with these guys, but we are trying to find a place in this first page listing. So we're looking at a low of 5,000 to a height of, let's not count this outlier, height of about 20,000. So let's say on average I would expect about anywhere between $7,000 and $14,000 per month if we follow a few simple things. Number one, we go through these listings and we check out some of the reviews. So let's take this guy for example. We're going to go down, check out their listing. So in comparison to the first one that we saw, it's only 2 photos, which is pretty awful listing quality. Geez, internet, please. That's all it is. Just I guess it's an FBA seller, so it's probably his baby and just like a standard whatever product photo. We have these 3 bullet points instead of 5. That is a huge no. That's already, these guys, mind you, they are selling, what are they at? Baby bands. This guys, yeah. So they are selling almost $10,000 in revenue per month. They're selling about 277 units per month. So 3 bullet points, 2 photos, barely anything. Let's see their description. Non-existent. This is okay. So they have this from the manufacturer, but by the time you scroll down here, it's man, this is a bad sign. The photos are unedited. You can an average user can do much better than this. This is very weak. And then let's see some of the reviews. So some of the complaints. 3 stars is my favorite go-to. This is where you'll find a lot of reasonable demands and reasonable complaints. Nothing extreme like this sucks, I hate it. So if your kid will keep them on, okay, so there's a problem with keeping them on. Not from okay, had to return the problem. Okay. So the protection itself seems to be the problem with these specific units. She won't use it. Originally bought these. So from the first one, we found out that maybe they're a little too big, a little unfit for the baby. From here, it just seems like the quality of the item is not good. It's not actually blocking out. It's not doing the job that it's supposed to be doing. So right off the bat, I can think of something like maybe have this kind of design. So add a little band around the head. So like a little elastic band. So have the same kind of design as this, but just add a little bit of a band, or maybe create some kind of under the chin design, or even create kind of a better insulation. And this will all come from product research and testing on Alibaba, which I will probably make a separate video for. But in terms of the numbers, this looks good. We'll have a mix of FBA, merch, and Amazon, which is good in its own right. We have an average price of about $25 per unit. That's good. We do have a lot of this baby bands, Baby by Me. They seem to be kind of dominating the front page. Now, I would give this about a 7 out of 10. With that said, like, this is not an excellent niche, something you should jump onto right away. I think this begs a little bit more research. I think you should look into second, third pages, how they rank, and how much money. In fact, let's do that. Let's do it right now. I'm curious myself at this point. So let's look at the second page, and it looks like we start running out of earplugs and start getting into other crazy baby products. But let's run this. Okay, so second page shows us, nope, irrelevant, hearing protection, but I don't think this is for babies. I think this is home improvement for adults. Yep, another baby band. So it seems like one kind of niche, which, I mean, people rarely look at this kind of thing, at the brand specifically, but something to be aware of. Now, let's also take a look at how much traffic can we expect Amazon to provide for, let's say, just baby hearing protection. So we're going to use merchant words once you get an account. Basically, we're going to search, I think I searched it already, baby hearing protection. So we're looking at about 10,500 per month search volume, and this is where people usually search. These are the dominant categories, as you can tell. So how about baby hearing muffs? Just try like different kind of samples. You can even go as far as go to Google keyword tool and see what kind of other phrases come up there. So baby hearing, hear baby, hear your baby. I would delve into more keywords on this. So the original keyword that we found these guys with was only 10,500, so it's not the greatest search volume, and yet they're making sales. So I'm starting to get a suspicion that maybe they have an external website and they're just driving traffic to Amazon and selling on Amazon. So it's not just through Amazon, it's from an external source. So this kind of dropped for me to about 6 to 5 out of 10. Basically, for a good product, a good niche, you would find a variety of brands, variety of sellers. Basically, everything looks good on the Jungle Scout, what we had on the first page, except the fact that is just like a few brands. Pretty much one brand dominates the whole market. But the number of reviews was pretty good. Other than these couple of thousands, even the 500 is not really that big of a deal if it's the only one. But these couple of thousands, they're throwing it off 800. Like, we're looking for 80s, we're looking for 120s, 140s. These guys, I'm guessing they're FBA and merch. They're using pay-per-click to get up to the top. The listing is not optimized here, so it kind of be beyond me how they're doing. I'm thinking it's just driving traffic from either external or from PPC, like going really heavy on the PPC, pay-per-click, for those of you guys who don't know. And basically, yeah, you're looking for something similar to this, especially the revenue. Estimated revenue is looking pretty good. It's pretty spread out across all product. Like I said, if these were different brands, this would be probably like an 8 out of 10. This would be cool. And you're also looking for ways that you can improve it easily. So what I was describing before, having a baby ear muff, but with like a band around the forehead or underneath the chin, that's a medium kind of difficulty. I'm talking about like add like a little strap, a little color differentiate. That's an easy one. So that's what you're usually looking for in terms of that. And then you're also trying to find, basically search some of the keywords. So like baby muffs, let's say. Like, I'm just trying to come up with them on my own. So baby ear muffs, right? We have this, like, what would show up if we searched for baby ear muffs? That's another 7,500 in search. Baby ear muffs. Right, so there we go. Same kind of target, right? Like, and once you get it going, I'll probably do another video on PPC. You can put in multitude of keywords in your PPC campaign, as well as in the back end of your product, so that when people search, Amazon triggers it as a relevant a relevant search term, and it pops up here. So all in all, it's I would maybe do this for my second, maybe my third product. If you're confident, you can find some niche improvement or some kind of cool improvement that wouldn't be too hard, that you can put up here. And like the images and the listing, the what's it called, the images and the listing copy, which is basically what you write, how you describe your product. It's not as hard as you might think. There's a general walkthrough that I can give you guys if you want to, of how to make awesome images either by yourself or just find a company that'll do it for like $20 an image, or and for copywriting, how to basically like follow this formula, how to describe and present your product in the best light. So that's not too difficult. But yeah, I would say, so this is kind of like what you're looking for. And then let's say let's go to the successful product. Let's look at their sales rank. So their BSR, best sales rank, is 865 in baby. Forget these subsections. We're not trying to go by these. 865. And what we're going to do is we're going to Google Jungle Scout Estimator, and this will probably be the first or second result. This is where you can kind of gauge, if I was at this level, how many would I sell? So let's say baby. I know it's we've been using Jungle Scout all around, but like, yeah, 858. So they're selling about 858 products with 8 sellers rank. But let's say you're like, what if I'm let's go back here and check out that other product that I wasn't too fond of, that I'm giving kind of a lot of heck to. So this guy, very unoptimized listing. Let's check out their BSR. Their bestseller rank at the very top end category, which is baby, is 3,096. So let's say like they're 3,096. So let's say we're at 4 or even 5,000. Let's say we're at 5,000. We get to 5,000 in baby. Our product is 5,000 in baby. We can expect about 184 sales per month. If my math is correct, that's about 6 to 7 sales per day. I mean, that's not too bad. I think it's fairly good. You can try and bump it up by either lowering the price a little bit, depending on your unit cost, or up your PPC to get that up to 300 per month. And there you go. You got the 10 by 10 by 10, 10 sales per $10 profit, 10 sales per day per one product. So that's pretty much it. That's the general gist of it all. I think I went over everything I wanted to go over. And then, like I said, you can always go back to Jungle Scout. Like, let's say, okay, I want to track this product for about a week. I'm going to hit plus, and you're going to go to product tracker, and it'll show you the BSR of the product and like how it varies over time. Now, another thing that you could do before we wrap up this video is we can go to Camel. I'm sure you guys have heard of this website. And you haven't. Camel is basically a free service where you can put an ASIN of a specific product. Which one? Yeah, ASIN, and it'll give us two things. It'll give us two pieces of information. Number one, it will tell us the price variation of this product over time, and second of all, I look at how long the product has been in the market. Geez, this is really confusing. It's all over the place. Okay, where are you? Which, by the way, this right here from the manufacturer, seeing this is very surprising to me. This is a rarity. This is like an established company will try and do this. I've only seen this with one other product. It was a hydration backpack that I was researching before that I decided to drop anyway. Okay, so we'll copy the ASIN, we'll put it in here. Oh, it's set for Canada, so make sure that this is set for US or whichever market that you're selling in. So in US, it looks like so they started from January 30th, 2016. Now I'm actually a little bit uncertain if the product was listed then, or they just the website just started tracking it from this point. So we started January 30th. They were at $20. Then they went up here. I guess they tested out $25. They went up to 33. Dropped back down, either a sale or maybe some more product testing. Went up to 33, and now we're at $26.92. So this is kind of what you're looking for in between the pricing. And this gives us, an age over time how they tested it. There's a reason why they landed on 26.97. Maybe 32 was just not bringing enough sales, and they decided to lower it. I'm kind of doing something similar with my products, where I started with $20, I went up to 24, 25, and I think I'm actually going to settle in on around 23.50. One key thing to mention. Amazon has this new policy where if you are not a Prime member and you purchase $49 or more on your order, you get free 2-day delivery. So with that said, you want to have a product that can be priced around $24.50, $24.99, because if they purchase two of those, it gives them an extra incentive to purchase two instead of one, because they'll get free 2-day delivery if they're not a Prime member. But a lot of people are becoming Prime members, and with Amazon FBA, you get automatic Prime delivery. So any Prime member gets your product real fast. But yeah, that's about it. This sums it up. Guys, feel free to ask any questions. I only made this video because you guys asked me questions and you gave me feedback and you reached out to me and got me thinking about all these things. And I'm just trying to help out as many people as possible, because I was so stressed and I hated it. And now, like, I've met a few of my friends through Amazon FBA meetups in my local area, and they have families, and they're like, I just graduated, so like I don't really have any of those extra stresses, of like paying a mortgage and sustaining a family. And I know a lot of people do when they're trying to get into this, so it's like an extra added stress. So I'm just trying to make it as easier as possible. This is all information I got from personal experience, the Amazing Seller podcast, and just a variety of blogs that I've been visiting. So just please don't stop the questions, don't stop the feedback. I love it all. I will keep making videos. If something was unclear, tell me. I will clarify it. And best of luck, guys. I'm here on your side. Like, I will help you as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope this helped. And yeah, Nick's out. Bye.